Welcome back to A&E. We've got the 2014 Nissan Maxima back in the shop. Customer states, I lose power when driving. The engine is still running. However, pressing on the accelerator does nothing. They coast to the side of the road. The engine seems to be idling fine. However, he has no power. He shut it off and it wouldn't start back. Had it towed, the battery tested dead. I had the battery tested, rewind. He brought the car to me. I took the battery out. I gave it a full charge. I went and had it tested. I don't have a thing to test the battery with here. Two different places tested it. The battery tested good. Put the battery back in the car. Key fob battery was dead. Replaced the key fob battery. Car crunk and run down the road as normal. Gave it back to the customer. He took it to work one day. That night, he tried to go somewhere else, and same thing happened. So when I started up, the alternator charges 14 and some odd volts. Okay, but as it sits, it'll drop to 13.2, 13. One of the complaints he had was when he turned the air conditioner on, it completely killed the car. So I don't have anything here to test the alternator, so I took the car, had the alternator tested. The alternator tested bad. So what was happening was when the car got warmed up, got good and heated up, the alternator was too weak to generate enough power, enough amps, enough volts to spec what the car is supposed to have. So what that was doing was putting the car into limp mode. So say all that to say this. This is not a step-by-step how-to video. This is a what I have found works for me kind of video. Just a few tips and tricks. Like I said, it's a 2014 Nissan Maxima. It's got the V6 in it. The alternator is way down in there. I have it out, as you can see. I've not done an alternator on one of these cars, so I did what most of you guys are doing right now. I searched YouTube for a video. Now, what I found was a guy who was doing the same thing, same car. He took the alternator out from here. Only after he took the air conditioning compressor loose, as you see I have mine loose, and he loosened some of his body mount bolts so that to separate this frame from the body to give him enough room to get the alternator out. All right, that's kind of where I drew the line, because I look for my own way to do things. If we all followed the same person and all copied what he did, we would never learn anything new. New ideas would never bloom. So I always question, always try some things yourself. Nothing is perfect except the Holy Bible, which is the perfect Word of God, and we can never change that. Who would want to? So what I did, I wasn't about to start taking body mount bolts loose, jacking body frame, all that stuff. All right, that's madness. So I said, what's the possibility that we could bring it out from up top? Now, granted, it ain't easy. You're going to push and pull, and you're going to skin a couple knuckles, but you can get it out from the top, because I just did it. Now, you're going to have to take that little plastic shroud off. The top hose, you're going to have, drain the coolant. All right, before you even get started on the project, I hate coolant. Drain the coolant. Drain it. Drain it. Get it out. Because you're going to have to take the top hose completely off, and the bottom hose, you're going to have to take loose and fold it over like that. Because the way that bottom radiator hose routes around there, you can't get the alternator out. It hangs up on the radiator hose. So get that hose, bend it over here out of the way. Don't take it loose down there in the bottom right there. Now, you're gonna want to take it loose right there, up here at the top. Take it off, fold it over, bend it out of the way. The rest of this stuff, you got an air conditioner line. I don't know what all this is, some wires and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, you're gonna need to finagle. That's the technical term. You're gonna need to finagle those out of the way as you're manhandling the alternator out from its little nest up in there. Now, taking the air conditioning compressor loose was an act of Congress. And while I'm not sure, because I already got mine loose, I think you can probably do this without taking that thing loose, because the bolts that hold your compressor on, buddy, they on there and they on there tight. Joe Bob was on the assembly line that day, and he had just had a big old country breakfast. So, a lot of this stuff that I did down here, now you're still going to need to do some of it, but taking the air conditioning compressor loose, you probably can get away without having to do that. But you will have to take the belt off, of course. You're going to have to take some of these idler pulleys off, because the bolt, one of the alternator bolts is, you can't get to it well without taking the one of the idler pulleys off. Anyway, if you're wrestling with this, it is a job. It ain't nothing easy about it. But unless you're gonna start taking body mount bolts off, jacking body from frame and getting all that, I wouldn't do it. I would take your stuff loose down there that you need to, idler pulleys, stuff like that. There's an alternator bolt you'll have to get to from down there. Then you just got to come up here up top. The wire that connects to your your hot wire that connects to the alternator, you see it right there. It's the connector right there. It wasn't that bad to get off. You'll have to get that connector, off your alternator stud. It's just a lot of finagling, but bring it out from up top. It's the best way I found to do it. I did skin a couple knuckles, but there she is. Hope this maybe helped you guys. Not an easy job, but we're halfway there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got something out of it, give me a thumbs up or subscribe. I'm all time messing with stuff like this if that interests you. If it don't, tell me what interests you. I'll see if I can't find something for you. Y'all have a good day. Always remember, please be kind to one another. We are all we have. See you next time.